When I was down there and I started to attach to Dorothy and I was getting all these people, I had to go like this because I felt like I was going under the water and I could see all the gray water above my head. And that's my symbolism for drowning. Do you understand it? Okay. I'm going to have to take this slow because when somebody drowns, it can really affect my breathing because I'll start to feel the water going over. And not only will I feel like my breathing is taken away, but my lungs will kind of squeeze together a little bit and I'll get a little disoriented, but it's the way they have to make me feel it. So I know it's a drowning, okay? But the very first thing I always feel is the gray water going above my head. And who's the female for you that drowned? Okay, because she's coming and standing right here. I'm just going to take my time with her, okay? This is going to be really hard. This is one of the hardest things I do. Drownings are always really, really hard on my system. So at one point I might just have my God come between us. With me talking about the drowning, did it catch you off guard? Because she just said, I caught her off guard, but I had to make you feel it, so you knew to come to her. Do you understand it? This was a long time ago. She's saying to me, it's been a long time since I've seen her. Do you understand it? How long's it been? Because she makes me feel just between 10 and 20 years, meaning it's just over the 10? Perfect. When it's recent, it's 3 or less, and that wild category is between 5 and 20, but my guy was making me feel just over 10, between 10 and 20, because then if it's longevity, it's over 20 years. Do you understand? Good. But she keeps saying to me, it's been years, it's been a long time. She keeps saying accidental. Accidental. Because just like if somebody's shot or if someone drowns or if somebody like drives off a bridge or anything like that, I'll always say, do you take responsibility or is it an accident? And she says it's accidental. Do you understand it? Perfect. So it's her making me feel when I'm asking her, do you take responsibility or is it accidental? And she's stepping in and she's saying it's accidental, and I can feel the water going above my head. So it's her way of saying that she's been gone for a long time. Was she not the person you came to hear from? Okay, because she keeps saying to me, I'm not the only one standing here. So that's why I'm asking, was someone else on your mind? Okay. So I'm just going to leave it until they step in. If it's even them, because it could be an older generation. Okay? Who recognizes the suicide? You do? Alright, because I'm feeling suicide just behind. Alright, so that's one of the people. Does anybody else recognize that? You do too? Okay, good. Did you say as well? Alright, so I'm going to wait until I get to that person. Alright, I'm going to start with her. I'm asking her if there's anything else she wants to make me feel about the drowning, and she just said no, because I don't want my daughter to know too much, because it'll be too hard on her. Do you understand it? Okay, so I'm just going to leave it, okay? But it's her way of making me feel accidental, and I can feel her presence, and I'm starting to see her, and she just kept making me feel like it had been a while, and it was just between the 10 and 20, so it's just been over 10 years as far as the 11. Perfect. And what's with the 8 or the month of August? She keeps saying 8 to me. And that can mean 8th day, 8th month, or there might be 8 things she wants to talk about. Do you have her items as well? Because she keeps saying, talk about what she has of mine. So you're wearing her jacket? Perfect, good. Sometimes they'll make me feel like I'm getting dressed, but she keeps saying 8. Now, 8 can be her given a date or a validation for the other person that's standing behind her, meaning she might be giving the support of energy for the other person she's trying to introduce. So I'm just going to leave it until she explains it to me. Because sometimes what will happen, especially if there's a suicide standing behind her, whether the person's crossed or not crossed, I'll find out, because I only communicate with people that are with God, but I will help people cross. So the 8 could be her trying to start to pass validation for the other person that's just behind. So I'm just going to leave that until I figure out who that is and until they start to introduce themselves to me, okay? But she keeps saying to me, And I get all this pressure here. It's pretty painful. So I'm not going to go into detail as far as what I'm feeling. But she's saying to me, accidental passing. She just said to me, it just happened. Do you understand it? Yeah. She said it just happened. And she's making me feel the water. Do you understand why she's clearing my mind a little bit? She's making me feel dazed and confused just before this happened. Do you understand it? Okay, good. Because as she starts to make me feel like just before I go under the water as far as the drowning, she clears my mind completely. I'm getting really, really fuzzy. I feel really, really dizzy. And I feel like my thinking isn't clear and I'm clouded. Do you understand it? Okay. What's with the substance or medication? Do you understand it? Okay, that's why. Because I'm being told substance, and then I see the pill bottles, meaning it's some kind of form of medication, but there's substance that went into her system. Do you understand it? Perfect, okay? Because that's what she's making. Oh, this is so strong. I can't even begin to tell you what I'm feeling and seeing, but it's her way of making me feel that medication, the substance went into her system, and then I get the cloudy feeling. Accidental drowning. It's her way of saying that she's not responsible, that the substance is what kind of put her in a cloudy judgment, and then that's what happened. Do you understand? Perfect. Okay. But she's saying to me, by the time she was found, she was already gone. Because she just said to me, by the time I was found, I was already gone. They tried to resuscitate me, but I was already gone. Do you understand it? And I can feel them doing this. This is so strong. This is what it's usually like when I do a private session instead of group like this, but it's usually like 3 times stronger than what I'm giving you now, and it's just because they won't let me give everything that I'm seeing, okay? Because it's going to use all her energy, and I want you to be able to spend some time with her, and for her to cover everything else. The happy things besides the way that she passed, okay? So I know there's medication. I know the substance goes into the system. Her judgment's clouded, and then it's the drowning happens, and it's accidental. It's the way she has to make me feel it, but she had to make me feel the drowning first, and then work backwards a little bit, okay? But she's saying to me she was already gone. Did you wonder what she went through with all this, and what it was like for her? Because all she's saying to me is, today was about letting my daughter know how much I love her, and I needed to tell her that she needs to not worry about what it was like for me when this happened, because in her mind, she always has those nightmares, not necessarily nightmares, but it's about thoughts of what it was like for her and what kind of suffering she went through with this. That's why she's showing it to me, and that's why she's making me feel it as strongly as she is. Do you understand? Good. That's what it's about, okay? All she keeps saying to me is, she makes me feel like the substance is so strong when it went into her system. When she started to go under the water, it was like she was already gone. Do you understand it? Okay, good, because that's what she's making me feel. And she's saying to me, she needs to know I didn't suffer the way that she thinks I would have. That I was already gone before I was under the water. Meaning they already started to take her. Meaning there was protection there for her in spirit, for their angels or loved ones, and my guide just said both to me, because he's given me the validation, okay? That there was that protection there, and that she didn't have to suffer, because it's something you always wondered what she went through. Do you understand it? Good. So it's their way of saying the protection's there. Her mind was fuzzy just before the drowning happened, because she was already out of it. They took her. Meaning she didn't even know, I feel like there's water and everything going into the lungs and into the system, but she had to make me feel the substance before. Okay, that's all it is. So she just keeps saying to me she needs to know that I wasn't in pain. Is that something you were worried about? She's saying to me she always worried what I went through, and she wondered what it was like for me. So that's why I'm talking about it today. Okay. She's very adamant about this subject, but I think it's not only because it's weighed heavy on your mind, but it's weighed heavy on other people's minds as well. So anyone else in the family, because of the way that this happened. Because even though there was the answers as to what happened, you still feel like there was unanswered stuff. That's why she's given it to me. Do you understand it? Good. Because she keeps saying to me it's about the unanswered questions. Good. And sometimes that can be the strongest validation they can give us, because it's her way of saying to you that she didn't suffer and she didn't go through any pain, and it's her way of making you feel a lot better about the passing and what she went through, because then it can give you so much more healing. Do you understand it? Good. That's what it's about. All right, I'm going to just have her for another minute.
Thank you.
Is the jacket the only thing you wore? Okay, because she keeps saying to me that's all she has on, meaning it's the only thing. Do you understand? Perfect, good. Because that's all she keeps saying to me. Huh? It's okay, because she keeps saying to me it's all she's wearing, so that's I know. Because otherwise she would be making me feel the other validation. I'm seeing the peaceful wings in front of her chest. She's going to start to pull her energy out. I'm just going to ask her what else she wants to say to you. You felt close to her? She makes me feel like I want to hug you. You felt really close to her? Good. But she keeps saying to me she needs to know what a blessing she was for me and how much I loved her. I never thought that I would pass the way I did. I know it was unexpected for her. I know she always had questions about what happened, and I needed to make sure that I had a chance to tell her that, because I felt like it would be more helpful for her to have an understanding of what it was like for me, the way I could show you, meaning her talking about me, okay? Because I'm hoping it'll give her a little more peace as to what happened and the way that I passed. Do you understand it? Okay, okay. All right, there's all this beautiful, like rosy pink, and then it goes into blue and just a little bit of purple. So I'm starting to actually see her aura as she starts to actually pull her energy out. But she's very, very loving. She just said to me, thank you for the honor today. So it's her way of thanking me that she had a chance to connect to you. Is this your first time connecting to her? And she said, this is the first time I've had a chance to talk to her since I've been passed. That's why she was making me feel it had been a long time. Because it wasn't just about the passing as far as the time frame. It was about since you've talked to her. Do you understand it? Wonderful. All right, she's starting to pull her energy out. And she keeps saying, tell her I love her. What's with the relocation? Hold in a minute. Who's relocating? Over here. Okay. Because I'm being told it's for that. Because I have, as she steps out, I keep getting talked about the relocation, and then I have a suicide right here. So I'm going to leave that for just a minute. And then I'm being told it belongs back here. So I'm going to leave that for a minute. That just means other people are starting to come through for other people at this table here. And then I'm going to get to the suicide. You're welcome. Again, didn't even touch the surface with her. But it was all about her making me feel what happened with the passing, because it was just the strongest validation that she wanted to give, and it had to just be about more peace on your mind. Do you understand it? Wonderful. Good. Okay. So she's starting to step out. Who recognizes the overdose? Overdose. You recognize the overdose? Okay. Was that the suicide you put your hand up for? Okay. So, all right, I'm just making sure that that's done. I feel like I want to shift here, and then I'm being told overdose.